Welcome to my kitchen in the Hillbilly Hills. I'm kind of exhausted, so if I lean here, I am preparing some leftovers, and I had to let this out. This is not my holiday special. I will have that on America. Uh, I had something. Uh, Look, I had another health issue yesterday. I cracked or broke a part of a tooth off. But today really frosted the freaking cake with a phone call. And no, I don't have a production company. I don't have set up people that call me. This really happened. Guy has a 1997 Tahoe. He wants the fenders and the hood painted. I have the paint. Oh, I've had incidents here where people think I can do expert work with spray paint. I spray paint their fenders. I charge them $25, $30. Well, at Fender, $25, $30. I mean, they're wasting my time, basically. And then it doesn't look right, and they know it. But this dolt, he was a level and a notch above every nut and squirrel that ever fell out of the tree. Okay, I said to him, what kind of paint is it? He says, I got it online. Now, I have gotten base coats that say enamel because they're meant to match old enamel paint and then you clear coat over them. Don't mistake that a base coat is a single stage paint. So that's what I asked him. I said, what do you have? What kind of paint is it? I don't know. I got it online. It matches my truck. Now, I haven't found a website that will match paint to any vehicle, without the VIN and all that. So, well, I figured, well, maybe this guy's advanced. And I said, well, maybe $400 or $500. What are you, a fucking idiot? Oh, here we go. I have the paint. All I want is my fenders painted. What kind of paint is it? It's paint, truck paint. Is it base coat? Is it clear coat? Is it single stage? Is it triple stage? I don't know what it is. I want my fenders painted. I mean, this guy's going around and around like a. I said, does it have a hardener with it? Now, I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to deter people from coming here. And I want to know if other shops are going through this. What do you mean a hardener? It's paint. I said, is it base coat or is it a single stage paint? I don't know. It's truck paint. I just want my fenders painted. What kind of asshole are you? I said, look, I've got to clean my paint gun because he was criticizing and jumping on my price. People know what reducer costs. I don't know if the fenders have to be sanded. He told me, you don't have to sand the fenders. I just want them painted. Well, I mean, if they still have wax all over them and they're not sanded down and there's no primer and, I just want my fenders painted. And it was like dealing with a 3-year-old. And I'm going, is this idiot sane before in modern day phones, you can't double click, like when you were mad years ago with a regular, analog phone or whatever. But I mean, this guy went around and around. I'm trying to find out, is it base coat, clear coat? Is it single stage paint? And then he tells me, when I told him, I says, look, there's reducer, there's sandpaper. I don't want any of that stuff. I don't want it. I just want my fenders painted. Yeah, but I got to clean my paint gun. What's your paint gun? Clean it or get another one. Well, my paint gun costs like $300. And I'm ready to reach through the phone and grab this Muppet and ask him, are you, did you just get out of an asylum today? Some people think that you go to Walmart and you buy spray paint. And years past, you people have shopped in stores. People are looking for paint to match their car. Look, spray paint at Walmart, and I don't care if it came from the auto parts store and they said it matches your car. All it is a base coat, and it's a cheap piece. So I tried to tell him that. It takes reducer, you have to sand the fenders, and, I just want the stuff painted. So that's where I hung up on him, because he's acting like a 3-year-old, not understanding that painting a fender, I don't care if you're painting anything, it's a whole other theater. You understand what I'm going through? Okay, this guy just about put me in the nut ward. I'm wondering if this guy escaped from somewhere or did somebody set me up? And because I was thinking maybe it was one of my friends pulling a holiday gag, but I didn't get a phone call back afterwards, and I did not recognize the number. And the guy introduced himself, and I don't even remember the name. I just, when you have I guess a bad accident or a bad experience, you just kind of block some of the stuff out. Is basically, I guess, what I did. But that was, and it was early, and I was barely, getting my morning routine and doing my thing here. And it's like about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and sure, I can paint your fenders. I can paint anything. What kind of paint is it? I don't know. I got it online. Well, I got to know what kind of paint it is. You know, look for my holiday special. And I just need other people's stories. I don't know about Mordski, Puddin's Fab Shop, and the other ones they're down in North Carolina. It's like Pinky and the Brain, and then there's them other guys. Because I know a lot of these people, they avoid paint. They doll up these cars. They put new tires on them. They put new shocks on them. They put a motor in them, and they fix up the seats, and they just refrain from painting the goddamn thing, which would make a video when you see something go from a piece of crap back to something that's usable. They're slapping what was it? I think it was Mordski in El Camino or something. The window channel's all rusted out, and he'll put some spray paint in there and glue and put the window in. You really think somebody like me would buy something like that? There's a Mustang for sale over here, a convertible. It's not an old 60s or 70s. This is something maybe 90s or whatever, but I'm contemplating on buying that. But this is what turns people like me into a mental case, and especially when I watch guys. Do you think I'm going to buy that El Camino from Mordski after he glued a windshield in it? And he might as well have left it with the butyl tape on it. I mean, you don't ruin a classic car. But it's like this Muppet that called me today. He has no idea what he's dealing with. He has a 97 Tahoe. Evidently, it had front end damage. Because you don't know what I paid for that bumper. I can pretty much guess. But this is things that this is why shops are shutting down. Because they don't want to deal with that nonsense. I have the paint. I just want you to paint it. Well, reducer thins the paint out. It also cleans my paint gun. And it also cleans up any other messes that I leave behind. And, then there's other preparatory things, like you got to wash the fenders. Then there's labor and their time. Because he was thinking, this guy led me on, I'm going to pay you $125 to paint my fenders and hood. $125 to paint your fenders and hood. Why don't you paint it? Go buy a paint gun. I don't know anything about that stuff. Okay. Well, learn. Take your paint and learn. I love it when guys buy $100 or $50 paint gun and it's junk within 20 minutes after the paint hardens. Teaches you a life's lesson. But evidently this guy, what I use the word dolt, that means an adult idiot. He was a dolt. He wasn't altogether there. Okay. I'm thinking that here in Podunk, Pocono Mountains, Trump and Satan must be close by because it's hotter than hell here. And to have an aggravating phone call like that first thing in the morning when you got a long, grueling day ahead of you, automotive is a tough business. Anybody that's in it that thinks people that do automotive, the grease monkey days are over. There's no such thing as a grease monkey. You need all your faculties. You need your brain. You need everything. And then to deal with a lunatic like that first thing in the morning. Enough of my video, but comment back to me. I picked up a lot of them on the Dodge truck, but let me know if you've ever had somebody call and say, I just want my fenders painted. Now, you got to be a body guy because a lot of, automotive guys, they don't do stuff like that. But, I mean, I'll do mercy missions. I even went to a guy's house. I painted his hood. I painted his fenders. And I painted actually the inner wheel wells and stuff like that. And, it took about a week, till everything. And then guys like me, it's a tough job to put a hood back on by yourself and get it all lined up. That's actually a two-man job. So I mean, I have done missions of mercy. Look, I'm exhausted. I should have got a shower, but I figured this was better served raw, like eating a raw steak. You really got to enjoy something when you got to deal with somebody that's like an infantile type of Looney Tune. I mean, he was very infantile. I just want my fenders painted. I don't want all that stuff. You don't need that. I have paint. I'll never grasp it. I just had to share this, and I just need all your comments on this. Unload on me. Unload on me, especially if you've ever dealt with something like this. Please, I welcome it. Thank you.